Virgo, welcome to your August 2016 love reading. It's Raina here. Happy birthday to you. I just did Leo's reading and I forgot to say happy birthday to Leo. And Leo doesn't like to be ignored, so I might have to, I don't know what, maybe put it in there. I don't know. Maybe they'll just have to learn how to deal, huh? But anyway, so let me start the reading, and I'm shuffling the cards. I'm altering my typical spread just a little bit. The only thing with this new spread is trying to get all the cards to fit. Okay, I'm going to put this up here. That's funny. I got that card for Leo in the very same position. Okay, so the overall energy is the Knight of Pentacles. This could definitely be you because Pentacles relate to Earth, but there may be somebody else in your life who is either a Taurus, a fellow Virgo, or a Capricorn who is featured in your romantic life at this point. This is a person who is very driven to work, who probably has some kind of goal of, earning a certain amount of money so that they can buy a house, buy land, do something specific, or maybe they are just saving for their future in a vague way, but they are working very diligently to do so. It can just indicate the general energy of this time. At the end of the month, you will have the sun in your sign. And going into September, when eventually, the sun will go into Libra, that will be your second house of earned income. And so during this period, you may find that things are starting to heat up for you, career-wise, and the money might be flowing in more. And so maybe this is just a time when you naturally work longer hours, or that you are just more involved with your business if you have one. For the recent past, I have the Page of Cups. So, you know what I think? This can be something to do with maybe a child. It could be that you're working, maybe you are a single parent and you're working on behalf of a child, working extra hard. Maybe you're concerned about having enough money to pay for your child, and maybe it doesn't have to be a young child, just any kind of offspring. Maybe you're paying for their college tuition. But the reason that you're really driven is because of the child. It can also relate to a water sign individual, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. What does that mean? Maybe you are now involved with a fellow earth sign and you were formerly with a water sign person, and that's how it's been going for you. But what's interesting is that what is around you is the Nine of Cups. And, I can't reach it because of, well, let me see if I can. I don't want to mess these cards up, but I have it. I still haven't gotten my, this is the Nine of Cups. But the Nine of Cups relates to the wish card, the wish fulfilled card. Sometimes it's seen as a rather self-indulgent energy, or what's that word? A person who is smug about their win. So it could be that there was somebody in your life who was a water sign individual and who is around you now while you're with an earth sign individual. And it could be a love triangle, but it could also be that you are, and actually, not only could be a love triangle, but there may be more of a sensuality issue with that person. Maybe you have a sexual thing going on. Because as I say, there can be like kind of this overemphasis on the indulgence. And so maybe that is, you know, the booty call, and then you have this person, because the Knight of Pentacles is not a booty call. This is a person who is on point, is very grounded and, you know, very driven not only towards for success, but also for future security. So this is kind of like the person who is more of a match or a catch for a long-term relationship. The other relationship, if there is another relationship going on, it may just be an indulgence rather than something that could lead to a committed relationship. And the higher perspective actually is the Eight of Pentacles. So it would point to this, you know, this earth sign as being the better bet, you know. But also another card that may be affirming that you are working very hard at this time on something. Maybe you tried to make that relationship with the former person work. Maybe you were trying too hard, and you finally realized that it just wasn't that type of relationship, that it was more of a sexual thing. Maybe you didn't think it was a sexual thing. Maybe you thought it was really going to pan out and become something of a romantic relationship, a committed relationship, a marriage, that sort of thing, and it didn't go that direction. But there may be somebody who is in the picture who's more solid, you know, overall. What crosses you is the Two of Swords. So this is about indecision. You may have a hard time in choosing. You know, don't make me break into torn between two lovers, because I will. I sometimes inexplicably break out into that song. And it really is a card of being at an impasse. And for some of you, there may be this feeling of not being able to kind of get over the hump, of just feeling like you're stuck. And remember that the swords relate to thoughts. So this is all a mental thing more than anything else. If you feel very strongly that you can't choose between two partners, for instance, then you might have to really let go of any kind of emotional connection to the situation and just look at it from the most logical point of view. And that means seeing the relationship from a macro perspective and seeing exactly how this person would be for you in every facet of your life. So if there's somebody and you have a very strong physical connection, and as an earth sign, a lot of people think that Virgos are prudes and they're, you know, prim and proper, but Virgo is an earth sign at the end of the day. And so you guys, I was going to say you can get your freak on. I don't want to go that far, but you know, you can be very sensual. And so that may be a harder choice than it would seem. But think about this person in different areas of your life. Will you be able to have a mental rapport with such a person? Because, you know, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. You guys tend to be voracious readers. You like to know things. You know, Mercury, you're ruled by Mercury, so you just love, you know, knowing different things and just exploring things all together and having somebody to do that with. And just having, you know, eye candy isn't going to be enough in the long run for you, because you're not, that's just not how you are. You're not really a superficial person. So that's not going to work. And then also in other aspects, if you do have a child, you know, the Page of Cups does relate to a child. You know, is that person going to, you know, how does that person interact with your child? Do you think that they have what it takes? Just every area. And that may kind of clear things up. The other thing, that anytime that you see a 2, there can be just a feeling of duality or ambivalence about anything. It doesn't have to be about 2 different people. Maybe you are thinking about moving, or maybe you're thinking about doing something completely different and you're torn between 2 different things. And you're afraid that if you move, you're going to leave behind this other person. And so it's just about being on the fence about something. That's all that it means. And it could be not dealing with 2 people. Maybe you're just wondering whether or not you should even deal with this person. That's even the dependable one. Maybe you haven't been with anybody in a long time and you don't even know if you want to get involved in a relationship altogether. The advice is the King of Pentacles. So it would suggest that, yes, there's an earth sign, somebody who, it could be somebody who's a business person, or I've said this before, somebody's boss. I'm not saying you should get with your boss, but somebody who is a boss, somebody who works for a financial institution in a, you know, an upper echelon capacity, or just has their own business. There's many possibilities. What else? Someone who is an earth sign. It could just be somebody who's an earth sign. It's kind of going along with the Knight of Pentacles, that's the person for you if you're kind of torn. It's going back to this thing, do I want excitement or self-indulgence, or do I want to build for my future? And sometimes we go for the excitement because we feel, you know, if other things in our life are not happening. And this is what I also think is important. If you are not fulfilling your dreams, you may substitute some of that by self-indulgence and say, well, if I can't make my dreams come true and have the life I want, I might as well have a good time anyway, and end up just frittering away more time that you could be spending doing something more productive, but also attracting that perfect person, you know, towards you. But you were, you know, involved with somebody who really, the relationship isn't going to go anywhere. So that could be what is being mentioned as well. Maybe it's saying that you need to just really become the master of your own destiny. You know, the king is the ultimate in control, and they're in control of themselves. And Pentacles is your suit as an earth sign. So this is the highest expression of an earth sign. And the outcome is the Hangman. So this says, to be continued, actually. This is kind of like you, I would say the greatest message to take from the Hangman is to let go of the need to control the outcome of the situation. step back. For some people, it may mean, if you are at an impasse, that you just go off by yourself, and that if there are two people, that you don't deal with either one of them until you get a very strong feeling within yourself of what is the right action to take. But whatever is kind of going on with you that you're trying to decide about, or if there's nothing that you're deciding about, but you just feel kind of stuck in a relationship or a life situation, sometimes by not directly focusing on it, but just kind of leaving it up to God to handle, it lets go of that resistance, and then things start to flow much more easily. And so, yeah, let me pick the card from the bottom of the deck just to see further clarity. Well, what do you know? I picked another Pentacles. We're in a sea of Pentacles here. Seven of Pentacles. Well, the Seven of Pentacles would kind of be appropriate if you are seeing somebody at the moment. And it's really a wait and see card. And it kind of goes along with this Hangman card, because there's waiting involved. It's not action time. It's more becoming passive. And passivity doesn't mean that you're, drooling in a stupor. It means that you are stepping back and letting go of the need to control the situation and just seeing what happens. It's there's a word for it. I was going to say sacrifice. It's not what I'm talking about. Surrender. That's what I meant. When you surrender into a situation, you trust that it will be, resolved in a way that is for your highest good. And you have no need to control it and orchestrate, manipulate anything. And so, I don't know what's going on in your personal love life, Virgo, but I hope that some of these cards at least resonated. If you'd like a personal reading, please click on the link below. Happy birthday. Take care. Bye.